All right. Carter, do you mind leading us in invocation?
Yes, sir. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the community where you placed us and this opportunity to serve, Lord. Thank you for those that you bring here and the students, Lord. We just look with expectation as the new year begins to get started. I know there's been a lot of effort go into preparing, and so, Lord, we ask that you would bless it, Lord. We just declare that this is going to be a good year, and we ask your hand that you would be in the midst of all of it. Not to force you on anybody, Lord, but we ask you to reign over it, that you would guide us, that you would be with the people involved, our staff, all the way from superintendent down to the coaches and the people that maintenance, Lord. Just bless it all. Lord, that you would guide us as we make decisions and things pop up. You just lead us in the way we should go, and we ask for your help in all of it. Preparing the next generation to go into the world. We need your help. In Jesus' name, amen.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Mr. Bennett, do we have any registered comments or speakers at this time?
No, sir.
All right, so we will go on into the board progress monitoring star comparison chart.
Okay, as they're coming up, most of you know this, but they're going to share some comparison scores for area. But we are real excited. We believe when the scores are released on Friday that Roby CISD is going to be an A-rated district. We believe that our score is going to end up somewhere between 93 and 94. I told the staff this week only somewhere between 13 and 14% of schools in all of the state of Texas get an A rating. And so we're incredibly proud of our staff and the work they've done, beginning with these two and then down to the teachers in the classroom that put into all the hard work, making sure our kids were prepared and successful. And so we're going to be a proud A district come Friday.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
We are super excited about that. So what you see on the chart is everything that's highlighted red is where we did not beat either the region or the state. So in all those other areas, we did beat the region or the state. So we talked about data all year long. This is where it lies. So jump in whenever you get ready.
Just like, I know that the English one still shows that we weren't on the Masters above the state and the region, but from last year comparing to where we are this year, we really shown that growth. So, and that goes with a lot of these. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it in the rate. The growth wasn't there. We're still not where we want to be, but even though some of those are highlighted, they still showed growth from the previous year.
And what you'll see, you see that there's blanks on 5th and 8th grade science. That's because those scores, we talked about at last board meeting, did not come out until late July. And so this, of course, was sent to you before then. It's not really been released to us either, but we have still figured, the service center has still figured the A rating based on results. Like we've gotten individual results and we've been able to calculate that.
Yeah.
So it's just not in this chart.
And we weren't a borderline. I mean, we're probably at the worst 3 points into an A.
Right.
So.
And you can look. I mean, 3rd grade. That's a hard test. It's the first year for them to test. It's long. They'll get better. And 7th grade. If you look at 7th grade math, and some people wonder about that, where it says 0% on needs. What you have to remember about 7th grade math is half of our kids qualified for advanced math. So half of my 7th graders took the 8th grade STAR test last year. And those 7th graders this year will be taking Algebra 1. So that 7th grade test across the state took a hit because of all the kids across the state of Texas that were taking 8th grade STAR. And this coming year, the 8th grade test will take a little bit of a hit because half of those kids will be taking Algebra 1. So your advanced kids are taking the next grade level. So it's leaving your other kids that are picking up that, getting the reporting done on them, basically. So we've got places we want to grow, where areas we can improve, and that's what we're going to be working on. But we're proud of these results.
Incredible job.
Thank y'all very much.
The A rating seems pretty amazing. I mean, we just talking about last year trying to find progress, and where everybody was at. So I would say it's pretty amazing that we're even getting to celebrate something like this.
And I will
It
say they've
is.
worked on it for several years. I mean, it wasn't just an overnight
Sure.
Oh,
fix.
yeah.
I mean, it's been a work in progress, and
And we talked a lot about this week maintaining that and continuing to improve. And I love that our teachers are hungry to do that. They're not sitting down and accepting that. And we celebrated, and we're not done celebrating, by the way. But we're also going to move forward and work towards this year.
And I think they proved that we can go to a 4-day week and we'll be okay.
yeah.
I mean, there wasn't, I mean, I think that was one
That
of
was
our
a
worries,
concern,
that
yeah.
you go to a 4-day week, and what if we see the scores fall
Yeah.
off, and then what if you hate to take that away from people after they've had it, but anyway, so that's what I'm super
Yeah.
glad to see.
Well, I think we made a few changes. I mean, and tweaks and things along the way, curriculum and tutorials and enrichment and data meetings and things that we've kind of done along the way that teachers didn't always love, but they bought in and did it anyway, and and I think we see results of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Great job, you two.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I guess we move on down into athletic director's report.
All right, gotta go through this real quick. We started football and cross country. Starting with the boys side, they're up to 32 now playing football. I think the closest one in the district with that number is Jayden at 22. So it's really good to have that many kids out there in the program. We're really exciting about that. We're up to 3, trying to bring that up to 5 on the boys cross country. Girls at 7. There's a couple extra that might come along and run for the practice to help with other sports, but we have a strong 7 going right now. Just going back a little bit over the summer, like I said, there's 20 plus girls participating throughout June and July. Boys were right there, and probably 30 going on, not counting the littles. Any day throughout the summer, we had probably about 85 to 90 kids run through the weight room, 2nd grade through 12th, so that was really good. Just a little bit of summer league. Girls, high school girls played in Hamlin. Junior high girls played in the league in Abilene. Both competed very well. Going on in the fall, I know that the girls are going to be playing in the Roscoe Fall League, getting ready for the basketball season. We have a couple of athletes that we wanted to recognize. For football, Bryson Cole. He's something we've kind of done a little bit different with how we select captains, but he was named our first captain, coach's choice to put in there. Really, really excited about him. He's been a strong leader in our program. We're excited about his senior year. Camden Loomis did a great job for us. Ended up at state. Again, he's really leading that cross-country program. Sailor Smith, point out that she went to the TGCA cross-country all-star event. So if you made that all-state team, you had the chance to go to the clinic, and they did live demonstrations, and they used those athletes to demonstrate for the coaches that are doing their presentations. So she got to go and be a part of that. That was a really good honor. And then we had some success with Summer Rainbow, Coach Rainbow's daughter, coming in. They won part of the state championship team there. Her coming in, she did very well. Summer playing golf. Really building on the character and leadership in our program. Really excited about the way that's rolling. Excited about the start of the year. Rank 1. I'm sure you've seen numerous posts. If you had to deal with it, you've had to, the problems we've had with it. But we're slowly starting to resolve those. Coaches came back. We went through all the emergency action plans for each facility, each sport. That's going to take time to think of a lot of people that have really stepped up, not only helping in reaching out with our teachers, where it comes to lunch or breakfast and stuff like that. But we've had various community sponsors come out and support these kids after their workouts. But the Booster Club has brought them snacks and drinks, Bowman's Family Farm, and with them with Rotan, the First National Bank, brought milk last week. The Roby Church of Christ Youth Group dropped off pizzas the other day. It's just been really cool to see the community rally around and support these kids as they're out there working. I will say we're trying, it's with so many kids in football, we're struggling finding games and not a lot of people in our area are having one JV or much less two. So right now we're up to 5 of the 10 games scheduled on that, but once things get started, we expect we'll be able to pick up the rest of those games. Football starts Friday at Baird against them and Gustine. Then we're going to host Blackwell and Benjamin here on the 21st. Overall, off to a great start. It's been a really pleasant first week. All 32 kids were back at football this morning. That's a big thing after a weekend, especially them being sore and having a couple of days off. Really good to see all them come out. Get back at it this morning.
Any questions? Sorry, they're trying to fix our lights from the storm that happened months ago in the ag building, and he just texted me that they're having an issue, and we ain't got time for an issue. So Zach's gonna go see what he can do about that. Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you, Coach. All right, business finance report.
Before Cammie presents, I want to congratulate Cammie. First ratings on finances came out yesterday, and we were A-rated also there. And not only were we A-rated, but a perfect score of 100. Congratulations.
Good job, Cammie.
Thank you.
Now to follow up with this.
Just pan the camera over to her.
Do what?
I said pan the camera over to her. No.
Ron, if you would click on, I know in this first tab under the business and finance reports, we have June and July here. We did find out in last month that I am able to catch up to present June and July all in 1 month. We just needed to have it on the board agenda, but as soon as I have bank reconciliations done to the board report, it just helps me know that everything's free and clear. I didn't miss anything, deposits wise, expenditures coming out. So you're gonna see June and July in here, but moving forward, we'll do the same thing. Just keeping up to how we used to, falling just a month behind versus the 2 months. And to me, I like that better for everyone, so we can see the bigger picture as we get closer to the end. But on the June board report, as you can see here, if you were to go down to everything is, sorry, let me come June still. We will be presenting on the 31st our budget amendment, and in that you're going to find just a few of our expenditures. Possibly, if I could find other money within our expenditure lines. In our function 99, it went over slightly. Our Fisher CAD allocations went up this year. So we did go over that budget line, but you'll also see in July, our function 51, we had more invoices coming in from all the storm repairs, the AC repairs. So if we could find the money to move it across functions, that's exactly what we'll do within our budget amendment.
And we're hoping to get some of that money back. We've got a pending insurance claim. The problem is the repairs have taken so long. We're waiting on the ag shop and the damage that was done out there. As soon as that's billed and finalized, then I can finalize the insurance report, although there is a $10,000 deductible.
And we're hoping it's going to cover a lot of that function 51 that you will see in the July board report. In the June and July, you'll see the function 99. Let's see here, and then I'll go into cash receipt. I'll let y'all have a moment to go through that. If y'all have any questions, just let me know.
Any questions?
Okay, I'll move on to just reporting just the June, then I'll jump into the July for the expenditures and deposits. So for June, you will see on the cash receipts report that we had deposited a little over $56,000 into our general fund. We gained the interest of $434. And then in the money market for June, it was $17,702. We did not have any deposits into our cafeteria fund, meaning we didn't have any reimbursements from the state for the food. And then total deposits to our debt services was $9,971.80. And the interest in that part of that deposit is $3,925. Then going into expenditures, we had a total of $149,500 in total expenditures from all the funds in June. For the cash position, between our money market and general account, we have $5,785 or $593. And in our debt services, we had $1.5 million. You'll see in June and July, I did have to move money out of our money market for payroll and expenditures. We had to do that again last year. Now that, tax money, it stopped coming through. So we pull from the money market, but I try to keep as much money in there as possible so we can keep collecting that interest. I know it's probably not to be all over the place with the jumping from June to July. But in July cash receipt report, we had deposited a little over $51,000 to our general fund. Interest in that was $782. In the money market, we had an interest of $17,663. And then the total deposits for cafeteria fund was $10,870. And the total deposits for our debt services was $9,480. And part of that was an interest of $1,406. We had in expenditures, $747,000 came out, but we had our bond payment in July. So that's the bulk of it. The bond payment with principal and interest was $633,900. And then the other expenditures that came out across all the other funds was a little under $140,000. Then cash position, sorry, I know it's a lot going over June and July, but I also have this typed out too if anybody ever needs it. For cash position, you'll see that we have $5.4 million between our general and money market, and then debt services is $907,000, and that's after the bond payment. So if y'all can look through that, let me know if you have any questions. I know that's a lot of information.
Any questions?
How much more do we owe on the bond?
I can pull up the bond schedule.
There's a 30,
I think it's till like 2021
or 20.
is what the bond schedule was. But whenever I was going back to look, our scheduled payments had changed. It had lowered. So I believe that there was a little over $300,000 that was probably used in interest to maybe turn around and pay on that bond. So then it changed those payments. I don't know if I remember that happening, but it was prior to me being here.
Yeah.
I know we did something to try to.
Yeah.
But they did change it, and our bond payment did lower compared to what the original payment schedule is. Because I was looking at that too when we were setting up our newsletter.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you. Go on into superintendent report.
Okay, before I get started, I just want to thank all of the community the outpouring of food and breakfasts and gifts has just been unbelievable. I think all of us have gained about 15 pounds probably the first week, but we do appreciate we have an amazing community of churches and business folks that have just went out of their way to take care of us, and we appreciate that. All right, we're going to look at the preview for the 26-27 public or tax rate and budget. So I want to tell you right up front with the tax rate. I know last year we did this, but you're gonna have to make that my old Brian. Uh, make that as big as you can make it for me. Yeah, thank you. And I want to see, yeah, that maintenance tax rate right there in the middle. So was that 2.2788?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think last year was 0.28. The state is really serious about not taxing above what the minimum compressed tax rate is. And so I'm going to encourage, we're not voting tonight, but last year when I brought that to, we wanted to maintain so that we could pay down the bond faster. The state is frowning on that. They are serious. So a few things that you would have to do if you want to do that. Number one, you have to make a motion that says that you're taxing above the rate and that it exceeds the district's debt, and that you have to determine by the education code that you're allowed to do that. You have to determine what the excess revenue collected from the proposed rate is to do. It has to be a supermajority to approve it, and you lose hold harmless, if I can talk, money, which is about $60,000 that the state gives us. It's just not worth it. So my recommendation is going to be to tax at the rate that I've given you, which is the lowest rate as when we filled out our tax worksheet. So if there's no objections to that, when we meet later in the month to approve the tax rate, that's what I will be bringing to you. And I know we want to pay down the debt lower, but the folks in Austin want to tell folks they're lowering property taxes, and they want to be able to say they've done that and force school districts to do that. And so I can tell you that's what it's about. When we did our budget this year, we'll look at that in just a minute. We were not going to have enough money for our bond stuff without the hold harmless money. So again, we don't want to lose the 60,000 from the state. So it's going to be just better that we tax at the rate that's produced by that worksheet. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I know all of us want to pay debt off as quickly as we can, but the state is serious. They're not playing. And I'll tell you this, they're looking deeply into schools that are taxing above that rate, and we don't need them in our business. So, any questions about that? All right, I'll send this to the paper tomorrow to be published for a few weeks so that we'll be ready by the end of the month to adopt tax rate and budget. All right, Brian, if you look at our budget, we were able to bring you a balanced budget. I can tell you that's harder and harder, guys. The state just to squeeze public ed as much as they can squeeze us. So we started working on this budget. I can tell you we gave some administrators a raise that were making less money than teachers based on the 8,000 and 4,000 that the state gave. And you can't keep administrators if you're going to pay them less than the folks in the classroom. But we didn't raise anything else. If we hadn't made the move with the food service to save 40,000, if we weren't able to hire a Spanish teacher and save that 40,000 we were paying for virtual school, I'm not sure we'd have been able to bring you a balanced budget. But so we worked really hard for 2 days, and here are the numbers. You can look at the bottom if you'll scroll down, Brian. This shows us in our coming out about 1,200 ahead. So we put a little extra money in maintenance. We went over this last year. Number one. Number two, we've got an ag trailer that needs about $10,000 worth of work if we're going to continue to use it. So we've done some extra stuff there. To do that, we cut in other places. And so we've talked to our leaders. A lot of this information, I think, was kept at the district level. So we are not doing that. Principals were part of budget meetings this year, and the ag teacher is going to be a part of this next year. And my job is to hold it, for them to work as a committee and help us set a budget. But then I'm going to hold them accountable to live within that means, just like we have to do at home. But we worked really hard on it. We're proud to bring a balanced budget. there's not many districts, I don't think, in the state of Texas that are going to be able to do that because the state they're not giving a lot of money out. So, any questions about it? So I've got a proposed meeting on August the 31st for the adoption of a budget and a tax rate. If that doesn't work, I know Michelle's not be able to do that. But if any of is that day going to work for everyone else? August 31st at 6 o'clock. You'll be gone. So is there a better date that we can look at? We need to do it as late in the month as possible, just because we're going to be bringing a budget amendment, and we need to. That gives us time to get all of our bills in, all that stuff in, so that we get that correct, and it takes some of the guesswork out at the end. But I want everybody to be able to be a part of it. What about football Thursday night, Zane? 27th.
Yes, sir.
We're tied up to 27.
Yeah, that's the rodeo. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What about 24th, 25th? 24th, 25th?
24th, 25th. Either one of those work for me.
Be good? Which is better? 24th, 25th?
That'd be fine.
Which one would you rather? Just keep it on Monday night, the 24th? Okay.
Somebody going out of state.
20. It's still their rodeo night, so the rodeo stuff going on.
Okay, so we will do the 24th at 6 o'clock. Works for everybody?
Okay.
Okay. All right, next thing on it is due to required board training, the September board meeting is going to start at 5. It's important to have everyone present. If we have everyone present at that night, we can do ISO training and count it as team of 8. And we're running out of time for that because the board training has to be reported in October before the election. So we will have a light agenda that night so that we can focus in on the training that night. I think probably EOP is the only thing on the agenda so far, and then a Fisher County adjunct agreement with Ag is the only two things that I plan to have on the agenda tonight. The rest of the time we'll spend training. Is that okay with everyone? Okay. Also, one other thing, sir. September meeting, yes, sir. I need, and we don't have to do this second, if we can, it's great, but we're going to have a special meeting in September to interview architect firms. So my leadership team, along with Gallagher, interviewed 6 architect firms last month, or the beginning of this month. It all runs together. Anyways, we interviewed 6. We've reduced that to 3. I want to bring 3 to you to interview to help us make a decision on that, so that they can start to do some preview work with us. And as we create a committee in October, they can work closely with our committee in making those decisions and coming up with some things about plans. So, is there a date in September that works? We meet on the 14th. What about the 28th? September 28th? September 28th work? 6 o'clock? Okay. Okay. I think that's it.
We might have a little football game.
Is that going to be bad?
It's on Mondays and Tuesdays is what the league is.
Is it? Do we need to?
They haven't came out with schedule yet, but I'm sure it'll be every Monday in the month of September.
Would the time help if we bumped
The
early?
times, 5:30 to 9 o'clock, whatever.
Do you want to do the Wednesday then?
You want to do Wednesday?
I mean, I know it's Wednesday at church.
And I don't. I mean, we'll do whatever we need to do. The 30th?
Okay, which one are we talking about now?
Architect interviews.
So I'm sorry, what date are we looking at now?
The 30th? September?
I'm okay with the 30th.
That work better? That work okay for y'all? Okay. 30th at 6 o'clock. All right. That's it. Thanks. Sorry.
Now on into consent agenda items. Minutes. View the minutes, and then we go and view the monthly tax report. And then just we'll need a motion for approval of them.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items A and B.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve consent agenda items A and B. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Danny? Which one? Okay. All 7-0. All right. Regular agenda item. Discuss and take action to approve Jones County 4-H as a sanctioned extracurricular activity.
Okay, I had the Jones County one already, so it's on the agenda. Fisher County, they've changed people, so I will have that on the September agenda, but, this is our 4-H folks who work with them every year.
We've done it for the last several years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just giving them an adjunct ability so kids
Yeah.
can be out with excused absences.
Correct.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve Jones County 4-H as a sanctioned extracurricular activity. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Discuss and take action to approve student code of conduct, student handbook, and employee handbook.
Okay, no changes to the employee handbook, no changes to the student handbook, or to the student code of conduct. The only change in the student handbook is that we need parents to be able to turn absent notes in within, what is it, Michelle, 72 hours, 5 days, or 3 days? 3 days. One of the problems we had, we thought that was already in there, and so we asked a parent last year that was turning them in really, really late, and it's hard to manage that. And then she called us on it that it wasn't in policy, and she was right, so we honored her, and so we've made that change so it is in policy, but they have to turn notes in within 3 days for us to excuse them. And again, the person that's managing all of that absence to be able to code that stuff right, we see those in promptly. But that's the only change. I know I've had some conversations with some of you about dress code. The only change to the dress code is the one we made in the middle of the year last year when the TEA sent us an ugly letter. The dress code is the same. If any of you have a desire to change that, we're open to that. I would just say, we all kind of, if we want to talk that out or if we want to leave it, I'm open to that. I certainly will say, I think there are certain things that we don't want kids missing class. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to influence the conversation because this. You understand? I mean, education is more important. Obviously, we don't want vulgar things and we don't want, and I'm okay with it as it is. But if we want to have a conversation, we can. If we decide to change that, we'll need to make a motion with the specifics of what we want to change.
So I'd like to have a conversation.
Sure. Yep.
No, not now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, well, I just wanted to discuss it, but I kind of have to look it up, see what it reads. I don't know.
Okay.
We had talked about it, but we changed something.
Well, we can approve it tonight. We can always amend it later if we decide we want to. Did you want to?
Well, I mean, just a couple of the things that I think maybe we need to figure out why people vote the way they do and why they want that. So one of the things that I think is a pain for teachers are these nose rings. Okay, why do we ban the nose ring? What's the difference between a nose ring and an earring? We already let them wear the spacer, or they get the little Band-Aids and put the Band-Aids on their noses. So what is the difference with that? Why are we all against the nose rings? What is our reasoning on the nose ring thing?
Okay,
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. And most of the teachers that I've spoken with, now y'all may tell me differently, y'all may feel differently, but most of the teachers I've spoken with, they don't even like fighting it. They're like, I don't care. It doesn't affect the way they learn in my classroom if they have a nose ring in. It's just like an earring. So is there a reason why we don't let them have nose rings?
I don't know, are you talking about just a stud or a bull ring or all of it all together?
Well, I mean, I guess you would be specific on that, but I'm thinking, personally, I don't like the little, as you called it, a bull ring. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
Septum
Nasal
or something
septum.
like that.
It's
But-
great, it's a great training tool for cattle.
I know that. But, and also, and just like the little studs. And, I mean, I'm wondering, why are we dead set again? Why do we have to fight that? When we can pick battles, why is that one of the things that we want to fight? And
I don't know that it was anything we wanted to fight. I think it was just,
It's been there, and
you gotta draw a line somewhere. We're just gonna run around naked and do whatever we wanna do.
Oh,
Because, well, I'm just saying.
no,
I mean, it's a loophole, and so if you, and it's nothing against a nose ring or a bull ring or whatever, but I mean, it's just a matter of, you set a precedent, and if you're leading something, it's like, at some point, the kids have to learn to, adhere to rules.
But we
They're not gonna
learned
like
it's a
them.
spacer. Have you seen a spacer?
I'm just
So the spacer
saying.
goes in that hole, and you can still see it. You know that it's there. You can still see the spacer. So that's just my point. And if y'all all are against it, I mean, you don't have to.
Well, I think it's every other school around here, and I've talked to many superintendents, that, like you're saying, the clothes, where it's a little bit, what battle you want to be, like you're saying, what battle. So a lot of schools around us, even six-man school we play, I've seen some of them look like grown men with their beards and hair, and, it doesn't, it doesn't affect, as long as, I'm just saying it doesn't affect what, just like you're saying, that you have to pick your battles and you make a choice as a group, and you stick with it, but, the ring thing, a lot of schools around here don't bother it.
Is it something that, I don't know how this works. Do we watch them in the mornings? How do we know if they're coming to school?
Just touch them just like
It's
any
really
other
not
dress
that big an
code.
issue. I mean, I don't feel like,
And how do we feel about
our kids don't fight it. It's not expected, like, you can't have it, it's not expected, take it out, they do. I mean, like, it's just not, it's not a fight.
it? So then it's not there. Because it was a fight.
It's not,
I
well, elementary, junior is quite different.
sending kids to the office every day, but I would tell them because the school board, y'all had voted no nose rings. So when I taught, I was like, look guys, it doesn't bother me, but they said you can't have them, so you're not gonna have them in my classroom. So, that's all.
So how many people are this being an issue for? Because I've never heard this.
I don't,
it's new to me too.
Complaint.
I don't think anyone.
So it doesn't affect their education, so.
Yeah. Did you address go to anybody for nose rings last year?
Maybe told two to take them out, but they forget to take them out when they come in, just like anything else, they take them out. Roll on.
Which, and I get it, we may not like them, you may not like them. I mean, I don't have one, I don't like them either for me, but.
To me, school dress codes are, it's, you got to set a, you have to set a standard. And to me, a dress code is where our job is to educate these kids and prepare them for future. And certain jobs are going to require kids to have expectations of dress and how they appear for hygiene reasons, safety reasons. And our job is to, as educators, is one to set a standard so these kids are prepared for when they go into a workforce to be, hey, this is what you get. Okay, yes, sir, this is how we'll dress, and I'll go to work that way.
Okay,
You
so
know,
let's move on
and
to facial hair then.
correct. Yeah.
So is facial hair unprofessional in the workforce?
It just all depends on your particular profession. There is a yes. There's a yes answer to that and a no answer.
And that was another one that when I came to Roby, there were no facial hair, no hair length, no rules on those.
Yeah.
It was never a problem. We never had any issues. I come from a school, I came from Hamlin, where it was a big deal and they were fighting kids all the time. But I came to Roby and I was like, we had one kid that had hair down here, but we were like, I was like, oh, he's allowed to wear that? And they said, oh, nobody cares. He was the only one, nobody else. But we all know the longer hair is kind of coming back in. I'm a kid from the 80s, so the longer hair doesn't bother me. The facial hair doesn't bother me either.
Yeah.
And if we want to sit here and say, well, it's unprofessional, they need to be professional, I mean, I'm looking around the room.
Can I just say about the facial hair?
Yes.
Unsolicited opinion. That, to me, that becomes a school safety thing. If we did have something school safety-wise, it identifies a child versus adult.
Okay.
I mean, that's my opinion. You know, If we have someone comes in, if we have law enforcement or someone coming to school and they're looking for someone that's not doing something, a shooter or something like that, and we say it's a child, they're not looking for someone with facial hair. Or we say it's an adult, they're looking for someone maybe, I mean, like, I feel like that's the way to identify. That's just my opinion.
No, I like that. I would agree.
So-
I would agree on that. Yeah, we saw the students on the first floor.
Some teachers are very young, so.
Usually in the workforce.
That's just my 2 cents worth
The
of
facial
and
hair
I'm
are the same.
just.
Correct. Yeah, like on mine, it has to be certain length, and I have to get specially tested for a mask if it fits properly, creates a proper seal, so that then, therefore, and so, as long as I meet those specifications, I can have facial hair. You know, nails, I have to have them trimmed a certain length because that creates an infectious disease process. There's expectations on that. I have to have a professional dress, and these are things that you go into a workforce and you're told to do that, and if you don't, you're either fired or let go. And those are standards you have to be held to. And if my boss says you need to shave, you shave.
Our stand is, I mean.
That's what I look at.
But
That's what
we want to have the strictest, so if they go
Yeah.
out to the workforce and they have to deal with that, they've already had to deal with it.
I think
So
it's.
is that-
I think it's. To me, that's what the concept of dress codes is create a safe environment, but also teaching our kids what it means to come look, professional or well kept, not well kept, but just professionally, and expectations of what your future is. I mean, if we showed up, if Mr. Bennett showed up in shorts and a t-shirt, how much respect do you think we'd get? If a teacher showed up and was unkept, those are things that we want to be able to have a professional look. Is facial hair a bad idea? No. But then at what point do you just say, okay, it needs to be trimmed and taken care of? You don't want a kid looking like, a hobo. I hate to say, I'm not meaning it as a rude thing, but, I've gotten mine a little too long and scraggly, and I look like I'm unkept, and everyone's like, "What's wrong?" And then I know I have to shave and clean up, but it's one of those things. Why do we go get our hair cut and cleaned up to look good for safety reasons? But also, like Michelle said, I think that's a really good
No, I think
point.
that's a great.
But those facial hair, there's safety reasons in other workforces for facial hair. It's not just I can have a mustache and beard now that I'm grown up. It's there's certain things out there, and so I feel dress codes are and enforcements are to create an environment, one that's safe for the kids, but also giving them an understanding of what a potential job future will hold with expectations. And as Carter says, at what point do we draw the line? There has to be this isn't a standard. And am I against nose rings? No, I'm not against them. But then is it going to be, what about eyebrows? And then what about cheeks? And there's going to be, it just opens up the question to other piercings, belly button piercing. Oh, well, they can wear their shirt now up because, those are the things that you've got to be careful of when you start. At what point do you say no? But stud, nasal studs. If that's something that's an issue, not an issue, but if there's some that, I'm not against it. It's just we've got to be, when you start opening those cans, then that's just what it is. It's just opening the can, and then where do we draw the line? And I'm in support of everyone, but that's my viewpoint of dress codes is to help prepare these kids for a future where their job is going to be like, hey, this is what I expect. Now, if they get a job that don't have that, that's cool. I'm good with that. It's not, I'm against it, but there are a lot of jobs out there that say you have to be dressed like this. And if you have a kid that has grown up without that, well, you can't do this. You can't do that. Hey, let's get cleaned up. Let's wear this. Then are we really helping those kids be prepared for what a boss is going to say? And instead, they just go, "You're fired. I'm going to get someone else because that's what I don't want to put up with it."
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve item B as presented.
Well, I want to say one thing. 'Cause I had a couple of things that were brought up. The only thing that I've heard is the inseam rule for shorts.
Say, I'm sorry.
The inseam,
The
which we-
length, I don't know what the length is.
it's 5. We moved it from 7 to 5 last. Was it last year?
Yes.
I got it moved to 5. But
And then I think we had changed the cheerleaders deal to wear leggings because of the inseam rule.
in
And
there,
it's 106 degrees in August to September.
I can just tell you, the inseam rule is impossible to enforce.
it's a tough one.
I am not measuring a female's inseam.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I don't want my female staff measuring a female's inseam. It just, I mean, I'm not saying we should change it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's impossible to enforce.
Yeah.
You're just guessing.
Well, I'm just saying there's
Yeah.
so many different.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing is there's so many body types that one inseam, a person that's wearing a 5-inch inseam, they can look like they have a 3-inch inseam because they have a longer leg than one person that's shorter stature. So I mean,
Yeah.
short length. I get it. I mean, I understand. Is there an easy answer? I mean,
Yeah. No.
there's no easy.
And to say that, I don't know how many kids did we dress code last year? Just a guess. Let me change my question. How many kids do we dress code a week on average?
Not even, maybe one, I mean, but not really.
Okay.
Beginning of the year, yes. End of the year, when it gets hot again, maybe, but not really.
My motion still out there. What's the motion?
To approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion to approve the student code of conduct, student handbook, and employee handbook as presented. All in favor? Raise your hand. All opposed? Which last one? Opposed? Okay. Do you want to bring it? Do you want us to? Do you want to bring up the topic next?
Yes.
Okay.
We also discussed too, you were looking at an AI policy to put in the handbook.
Working on it.
Working on that. Because we definitely need an AI policy.
How you enforce that?
That's
Hard. But
It's gonna be a
there's
tough
schools
one.
that are, the reason that we've held back is because there's a lot of people working on that process right now. And we're hopeful that we can see the mistakes that are made and the ways out there that it's handled and come up with the best system. But it's challenging.
Yeah.
It just like education was, I'm sure, when the internet came out. It's just challenging to deal with.
Right. Well, that's a lot of teachers already don't let them do anything out of the classroom because of AI.
Well, we tell them to
And our
advance with
text-
technology, and they're just using the sources that are there. I mean,
What?
honestly.
I forgot that air conditioner. I'm sorry. I can't
I
hear
said
you.
we're telling the kids and everyone as people to advance with technology, and then they found a
Well, it's true,
loophole and
but
they're
we
using
also-
it.
We
But
also want them to learn.
I think the simple fact with writing is the problem. But the simple fix to that is make kids write in class.
no.
And then the work is theirs. At the same time, I think we need to teach kids how to use that in a productive and well. I'm gonna tell you, I use it 2 or 3, 4 times a day, every day, in the work that I do. I don't send an email without,
No, I use it
without
often.
ChatGPT cleaning it up for me and correcting my mistakes, huh? Yeah. So, but we do need one, and I'm trying to give some time. There's a lot of schools that have already adopted that. There's some that did it towards the end of last year. There's some that are working on it right now, and I'm hopeful maybe some of the kinks can work out of that, and then we can learn something from that. And when we do get a policy together, it'll be a good one.
But the teachers can put that in their class rules,
Sure.
and they can discipline that.
It just has to be enforced across the board equally and fairly, and you have to be able to. You can't just say, "I think you used AI." I mean,
That's
you have
the
to.
hard part.
Right. Right.
We can tell AI on a country here from Roby, Texas, right? It's like I
Talk like that. Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But as a
I'll
teacher,
tell you what, if you put some of this on,
No, you're right.
maybe you did the AI.
Not every.
Yeah.
It's like, anybody read this grammar book?
Right.
Program where they can see what they're doing.
All right. Discuss and possibly take action to review and approve 24-26 Texas Safety Center Audit Survey.
This is the one that you previewed last time. It's got to be submitted in September. I really think we're in good shape. We just needed a board motion and approval before we submit it. It has to be on the agenda and approved.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second to approve the 24-26 Texas Safety Center Audit Survey. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? 7-0. Consider and take action to renew Roby CISD's good cause exception under Texas Education Code 37.0814 based on funding limitations and/or the limited availability of qualified commissioned peace officers or school safety officers. The board further authorizes the continued use of district's approved Guardian program as the district's alternative standard to help meet campus security requirements and provide for the safety and security of students, staff, and visitors in accordance with the applicable law.
Okay, so he's read a lot of it, what it's about, but basically, we need to renew our good cause exception from the law that stated that you had to have an armed police officer, basically, for security person at campus, and we're using the Guardian program rather than that.
I'll make a motion to approve as stated. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Roby CISD's good clause exception as I had read out earlier. All in favor, raise your hand.
No.
I don't know. You gonna read it for me?
No, really, really got it all right.
Passes 7-0. All right, Danny, can you take over for me for a minute? I'll be right back. No.
Oh, I'd say adjourn.
Consider and take possible action to order the November 3rd, 2026 Board of Trustees election.
So, asking you to approve the order of election for November 3rd for the Board of Trustees to elect 4 trustees to 4-year terms. You authorize the superintendent to execute all necessary documents with the Fisher County Elections Office and take any additional actions necessary to conduct the election in compliance with the Texas Election Code.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the order for November 3rd, 2026 Board of Trustee election. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? All right.
And when you get done tonight, please hang around. There's several of these things that have to be signed by some of you, and some of them got to be signed by all of you. Namely, the order of the election has to be signed by everyone.
All right. Discuss and possibly take action to approve funding source 470, the Wind Farm 313 agreements for previously approved vehicle purchases.
So at the last meeting, you approved me to purchase vehicles not to exceed $105,000. There was a Suburban and a Equinox. Talking to Gerald about some other audit information, he recommended that we purchase that out of a Wind Farm 313 agreement money that we have about $2.2 million in, because he says that money was designated for vehicle purchases. And I said, well, I've already got an approval for it. He said, well, you still need to go back and get them to approve taking it out of this. So that's why I'm bringing it. Cam can talk a little bit about the account if you want to know. But go ahead.
So in the past 2 audits, I know that he has mentioned that we have our wind turbines. And it can be used for whatever you may need. It has not been touched, I know since I've been here. So we have 2.2 million in there now. But just like you said, Gerald recommended bringing it to y'all because it was the board that wanted to set that money aside. And even though it's not really, it's Fund 470, it's not one that needs board approval, but we would like y'all's board approval on that if that's something that you would like to use that money for.
Yeah. And for those of you that weren't here, those 2 red Suburbans, both of them have well over 250,000 miles. We really don't feel comfortable sending anyone. We sent Zane to Austin last year, but that's it. We in one. But we don't really want to send those out of town at all because we're just fearful.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Yeah. So what would happen is these 2 vehicles would replace the 2 red Suburbans. We would auction one of them and get rid of it. The other one we would turn over to our maintenance folks to be able to use locally around here. And We didn't do 2 Suburbans because we did an Equinox, I think it was, instead, because we have so many folks that administrators, or there's one person or 3 people that are going on trips, and it's really not good business to send one person in a Suburban and a guzzling Suburban when you could send them in a little bit smaller vehicle. And the Equinox is probably about $25,000 cheaper. So,
I'll make a motion to approve item F as presented. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the funding source 470, the Wind Farm 313 agreement for the previously approved vehicle purchase as discussed at previous board. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? 7-0. Discuss and take action to reclassify committed fund balances.
okay, so this is another recommendation from the auditor, from Gerald. So I guess previously, these fund balances, you got one for construction, one for stabilization, one for transportation equipment, and one for locally budgetary things. And Jared said that years ago, they were forcing school boards to designate fund balances to prove that you wasn't just savings and loan, I guess is basically the best way to explain it. He said, really, we need to just close all of those accounts and move all that into just the unassigned fund balance. And so that's my recommendation. My recommendation is that we close, what's the beginning numbers on those, Cam?
It's 199.
Okay, so,
3,800.
yeah, I'm recommending closing 199, 3510, 199, 3510, 199, 3530, 199, 3700, and moving all that into the 199, 3600, which is the unassigned fund balance, as recommended by the auditor.
I make a motion to approve the amendment as stated.
A second.
I have a motion and a second to approve to reclassify the committed fund balances as stated. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? 7-0. We'll want to skip and do this one and then go into close.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm going to skip H right now. Go into I, discuss and possibly take action to approve the annual certifications in compliance with certain laws.
Okay, so this is another state requirement that's due coming up in this next month. It's basically certifying as a board that we have, and we did this in TASB Update 125, but it's prohibiting the I duties, and it's also Texas Education Code 28.0022 instructional requirements and prohibitions. The district has policies and procedures addressing the laws, instructional requirements, including requirements concerning controversial public policy and social affair topics, political bias, certain advocacy activism activities, or other statutory requirements. And so basically we have to certify by board approval and by my signature that we have complied with those laws.
I'll make a motion to approve item I as presented.
Second.
What? Way to go! I have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the annual certification of compliance with certain laws. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? 7-0. All right. The board will now move into executive session under the following sections of Texas Government Codes 551.074, 551.076, and 551.072. The time is now 7:01.